Lunchbox Reviews. Today we are doing Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, and I am joined by Alex
Hello.
and Michelle.
Hello.
So, quick overview: Army of the Dead is by Zack Snyder. It's his return to the zombie genre. His first one was Dawn of the Dead. So it's basically a group of mercenaries gets hired to steal something in a vault in Vegas, which happens to be surrounded by zombies. You got the fast zombies, you got the smart zombies, and you got the regular zombies. So all kinds of zombies.
And the
here.
horse and tiger zombies.
Yes, and tiger zombies.
And horse. The horse too.
And a horse too, yeah. So like I said, it's directed by Zack Snyder and it stars my current fave Filipino American actor Dave Bautista. So here we go. Guys, initial thoughts.
Well, okay. I enjoy shitting on Zack Snyder, and this movie proves why. There's a lot of faults in it, but holy shit, it's like a full scale, big budget zombie movie. I've been clamoring for this for years. It's like more fulfilling than like the past God knows how many seasons of Walking Dead and like years of zombie movies. So like this really scratched that itch for me. Unfortunately, there's a few questionable items in the movie that we'll touch upon later, but I enjoyed it. For the most part.
Yeah. I agree with that completely. I'd say it's a fun zombie movie. And the zombies are the highlight of the movie, and the people are the worst part of the movie, in my personal opinion, without getting too specific about that. But it's a fun movie. Like, it's a fun ride. It's gory. We like that for me. It's gory. The zombies are cool. I like the kind of zombie lore, or like the kind of more to the zombies, maybe, which we'll talk about. I like the potential there. I think that could be really good. Could also be absolutely terrible, but fingers are crossed. I think it sets up some interesting potential for sure.
Kind of echoing both of you, I did really enjoy this movie. It proves that I think Zack Snyder should only be doing these types of movies. The movie is a lot of fun. There is a lot about it that bothers me, but yeah, it was really fun, and I'm kind of curious where it's going. With that said, we are gonna go full spoiler now. So, come back and see us later, or just watch us. It's your choice. So, we're gonna go full spoilers. What did you guys like about this movie? We're gonna just go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Pass the ball around again.
Passing the ball around.
I'll start. I liked the zombies. The general hierarchy, I guess, of the zombies is interesting to me. So they have like the shamblers, the alpha, and then the dude with the cape. It's a cape zombie. I just thought it was an interesting take, because that way you're able to get all facets of zombies. You get fast zombies, you get like the kind of creepy slow ones, you get like, there was a scene with them hibernating, which I thought was fascinating. I wish this had come into play, but the first shamblers they see are all like dried up on the side of the road kind of thing as they're walking in. And the coyote character, she says, oh, when it rains, they reanimate. That's sick. I would have loved to see that. I think that would have been amazing. And I'm disappointed that I thought for sure that was going to come into play, and that would have looked so cool. But just like these, I don't know, this kind of not necessarily fresh take, but more expanded take on zombies and the potential for them, because they are smarter. They use weapons. Like that one dude throws a spear like nobody else. Like that was crazy. And I just like that, because it's still the idea of a zombie don't get bit, but there's so much more to it. And I really, really liked that, though I don't think they did enough of it, but we'll get there.
To jump off of what Michelle said, one of my favorite video games ever is the Left 4 Dead series. There's only two of them, and they're incredible. And what they did was expand on the only thing I could call it is zombie lore. That, like, without telling you what caused this zombie outbreak, they just give you different forms of zombies, different types, without explanation. I don't need an explanation. I don't need to know whether a zombie's mother's name is Martha. This is not stuff that I need. Okay, I I just need horse zombie. All right, you know, really tough alpha. Okay, I get all this. This is all working for me. Hibernation. Okay, it's tougher to believe, but awesome. I love it. But, like, it's not even hard to believe. It's just zombie stuff. Like, you're making it up as you go along. There were a few things. It's like robot zombies. Well, I guess we'll get to that, which is really confusing. But, like, if you want to get into that, sure, I'm sure there's a way to work that in. But yeah, this expansion of the whole zombie mythos, it was a lot of fun to see it, you know, expand.
So you guys pretty much touched on all the kind of the different type of zombie stuff, and I agree with you guys 100%, except for like the smart zombies. I do not care for smart zombies. If you're really smart, then you wouldn't be a zombie. But
Yeah.
going away from the zombies, one of the first things in this movie that I really liked is that opening scene, which what was the song? I can't remember what the song was, but it was by Richard
Leaving Las
Cheese.
Vegas.
Leaving
Las
Viva Las
Vegas.
Vegas, which was
Viva Las
also
Vegas.
by
Sorry. Yeah.
Richard
Elvis.
Cheese,
Yeah.
who did Down with the Sickness in the first
Yeah.
movie, and like both intros of the movies kind of mirrored each other, and I thought that Zack Snyder going back to that style was really cool, and thus making him really good at making zombie movies. Sorry, Zach,
Well,
zombie movies.
Zack Snyder's intros, I would say in general, are so strong because it also reminded me of the Watchmen intro. Like, the amount of exposition
Oh,
you
yes,
get
yeah.
in these intros is amazing. He builds a complete world. He catches us up to what's going on. Like, we got so much background of each individual character in that little sequence that he does the best character building in the intros, and then it goes to shit. But right there is like, it started so strong. Sorry, I had to just say that.
Yeah,
like,
no, I agree. Even like the intro with like the little photos they did, with they had that little setup, and they were just slow mos of them in that photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that part. What else did you guys really enjoy in this movie?
I'll jump in. So one of my favorite horror movies is I don't even know if you'd call it horror. It's more action, sci-fi. But Predator. Predator's really cool because Predator starts you out with this like badass squad of just all, every single one could start an action movie. You know, Arnold, Carl Weathers, Jesse Ventura. Like they're all cool badasses. They have like the simplest of stories because you don't need much more because it's just gonna be mindless action. This movie had that too. Almost every character, like all the ones that were in the main team, they had their short little story, nothing more, nothing less, and that's all you need for this just this grotesque action thing. And like it could have been a little more emotional because sometimes it did get emotional. Like, let's say with Maria, like she you know had her emotional scene.
Yeah.
But it was like, oh, let's put this in just so people will care for the next scene. Spoilers, her dying. So it could have been paced a little better, but it still stands. Like, each character, you really you knew what they were all about.
And just to continue with this, like with the crew, just like Michelle's love for when you just give her something gory, she's kind of always down for that. For me, it's the ragtag group. So it's like the movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, The Losers, A Team, any movie that has these random characters that used to be like a team or just picked up from that random. To me, that's almost a 10, and then as the movie goes, I'll sort of subtract, which is what I did with this movie. But yeah, it was a good ensemble, and I'm kind of I'm a bit pissed that they almost kind of didn't make it. All of them just kind of died,
Yeah,
especially the lead, Dave.
yeah. I I agree. I'm a fan of the ragtag crew, especially when you get, I don't know, such like nobody was very likable in like the best ways. And I love when you get a crew like that. Like, of course, it's a heist crew. They're doing some like illegal shit. They're not all going to be like these really lovable, friendly, really fun characters in that sense, but you get that like quirkiness to them that they function as like such a dysfunctional family. And I adore that. Like I yeah, that was so great. I wish that they had, I mean, like spoilers, everyone pretty much dies. I feel like for a team, like they spent so much time building this team and they functioned as a team for like 2 seconds because then they
Yeah.
immediately all split up. And I would have liked to see like a little bit more interplay between the different characters. Like honestly, the pilot character was my favorite, and she just got relegated to the roof by herself. And I would have loved to see her character interact more because when she does get that interaction at the end, it's really good and I really like it. Things like that I wish had played out a little bit differently. So like I don't know, just it's hard when you build this really sick team and then it's like, and you two go there and you two go there and none of you communicate at all for the rest of the movie and that's it. But you know, it is what it is. It had to happen to move the plot along. So like I get it, but boo. I was like, I'll say something I do like. Obviously, I like the gore. That's obvious. But I really liked the kind of interplay and the changing between like drawn out blood gore sequences and really quick sequences because we get a lot of gunplay, a lot of characters who are spectacular at headshots despite having never killed a zombie before are like 10 out of 10 on headshots. Looking at you, little safecracker Dieter guy, but whatever. And I loved seeing that kind of, you'd have quick kill and then you'd see like a drawn out fight. So you're having particularly when the character is getting mauled by the tiger, he's getting mauled by the tiger. It intercuts with like quick headshots to the zombies mauled by the tiger. And I really liked just that back and forth where you're still seeing like quick kills, but you're also seeing this drawn out, really nasty fight with the tiger. And like the final chomp of that tiger was unbelievably gory. And I was not expecting it because the fight was happening, but it wasn't super like he wasn't getting chunks ripped out until that final chomp. And I loved that.
That was a good one. Yes.
Yeah. That was really sick. And I love the no explanation of the tiger besides like it was Siegfried and Roy's tiger and it's just here. And I love that. I don't, like Alex said, I don't need explanation for that. Zombie tiger, sick. I'm on board. Give it to me. Why not?
I think something that I think Lou touched on, that like Zack Snyder is a great director when it comes to like making, let's say, a music video. But once you start inserting a story, it's like he's just trying to let's just get the story out there. That's why like Man of Steel, I thought that was going to be like the superhero movie to end all superhero movies because like the trailer was incredible, phenomenal.
It got me duped, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like all his movies, they look great if you just boil them down to like 45-second montage, right? And like he'll choose the right song and everything. But this is what this movie feels like because there's not a lot of story. It feels like an hour and a half long music video for the most part, and just like if you treat it like a mindless action zombie movie, you'll love it. If you're looking for anything else,
yeah,
sorry for you.
If you're trying to go deeper with this movie,
no,
you're gonna disappoint yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, like Alex was saying, Zack Snyder does a really good job with combining his montages and the music. Like his music choices are usually on point, and it was great in this movie as well.
Listen, the concept is great. I like from the very beginning. I love the idea. It's like Las Vegas zombies heist movie. Oh, 10 out of 10. I love that idea, and like I'll give him that. It's just a brilliant idea. Thank you, Zach, for coming back to the zombies that you had forsaken so many years ago. You know what I did find out though when I was looking into it? Dawn of the Dead was written partly credit to George Romero, but another credit to James Gunn, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, really?
He wrote the screenplay. Yep, he adapted that screenplay. So this one was
Really?
part.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I did not know that.
But yeah, Army of the Dead though was not written by James Gunn. You could tell it was written by like Zack Snyder and like 2-3 other people. So it was like a mishmash of like different things. So
A bunch
yeah.
of dude bros who don't know how to write women or any type of family relationship. Period.
Yeah.
Looking at you,
Because
Shay Hatton
I'm gonna-
and
I'm
Jody
gonna-
Harold.
I just gotta point out, like, the best female character in my opinion is the pilot. That character was actually written to be a man.
Yeah, that
It
was
was originally Chris Delia. I don't know how to say his last name.
Yes.
Yeah, originally him. A lot of it was actually shot with him, so they ended up having to green screen her into a lot of it, which I think is why there wasn't as much interplay with that character, and explains a huge question I have for the end of the movie, which we'll get to, because there's like a significant hole I think there, and I think it's because
It's a
of
lot
that.
of holes.
But the best female character is written for a dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's disappointing when I actually found that out. I was like, oh, I guess that makes sense why I liked her character the best, because it could have been a dude, could have been a guy, but had a cool character. The rest of the women are just kind of like, you know, they're girls.
I think it's like Tig Notaro's personality. Like, she's a comedian. She's great. She's amazing in this movie. But I think she really stole it. I want to say it's because of her rather than what was written for her, because like she's just naturally funny. And yeah, she was great. And go figure, like her and Dave Bautista, they were never in any scenes together physically. Like they were shot separately, which is so weird. But Tig does a great job. And yeah, hats off to her.
I wouldn't have noticed that like in that end sequence because they're talking to each other. I had no idea until like I had a question about a plot point and then I Googled it and I was like, oh, that makes sense then. But yeah.
She also actually steals some scenes in I think she's in that new Star Trek series, Star Trek Discovery, I think. Is it called Discovery? I'm not sure what it's called, but yeah, she steals some scenes there too.
Oh, good for her. I like her. She's great. 10 out of 10. So good.
With that being said, we're gonna go to the things that we did not like, and there was a few. So again, I'm gonna pass the ball around. Who wants to go first?
I'll start with what I think is the most mild of my complaints. The setting of Las Vegas is sick. That concept is amazing. I'm sorry, were they in Vegas half that freaking movie? And you're in a tiny tunnel. Like none of it screams Vegas literally at all. I'm so disappointed by the costume design, particularly for the zombies, because you only get the queen zombie in like Vegas attire. I really wanted hordes of showgirls and like big outfits. That would have looked crazy cool. Like the potential there was so spectacular. I wanted to see like the Ritz and like the decay of that Ritz of Las Vegas, and you literally don't get that at all. Even the vault is so standard. Nothing is that like, I don't know, exuberance that I picture Las Vegas to be even during a zombie apocalypse. And I think that was a huge miss. It's my most mild complaint, but I think it's a huge miss.
I agree, because they started out really strong with that opener, and that was really big. It's with the Liberace character, Sarah the pianos, and the showgirls with their milkies coming and biting people. It's become a thing now. The milkies have become a thing.
Milkies.
Alex, what have you done to us?
All right, I'll begin with because I don't know if we're gonna go through like, you know, all the plot issues point by point, but like the story was shit. I mean, like the concept was great, and everything else, but like when it comes to, although I praise the characters for like just the vague concept of them, when it came to depth of characters, there were none. When it came to like emotional attachment, there was none. It was just, and any emotional scenes there were, it felt forced and tacked on and kind of dumb, like Dave Bautista's daughter like wanting to like throw herself. Like most of the problems come from Kate Ward, you know, the daughter character, where it's like, oh, she wants to enter Las Vegas, she's untrained, she just wants to save this woman who could or could not still be there because she's a mother. That does not work for me. I mean, every horror movie has like your dumb, questionable character choices, but this one was spectacular, especially near the end when she dips while there's a nuke like 15 minutes away from hitting the city, and she's like, "Oh, I gotta save her now. I gotta run across the city where like just cross paths with like the alpha zombies." It was like astoundingly dumb. Like the whole thing with her was really dumb.
Staying on with Kate, like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, how dumb are you? Like, if you didn't come in this mission success, and for what? Gita probably didn't even make it. They never showed Gita's body or anything near the end, but I'm assuming maybe she died. So, Kate, what a dumb character. I mean,
It was.
That was my big issue, was not showing Gita at the end. I literally watched that whole scene and I was like, wait, and then I rewound and watched it again because I'm like, at any point when Kate gets out of the helicopter, is she like, Gita, where are you at?
Did she didn't even look for her, right?
She doesn't even look for her literally for a second. She looks at the dead pilot and then her dad makes a sound and she's like, Dad, I care about you now, even though I said I hated you a scene ago. That to me was atrocious. Apparently the reason like she's not shown as much is because she was in the front seat with Chris D'Elia when he was filming. Like Gita was in the front, so they cut all that. But that's still like that doesn't work for me as an excuse, because you completely lose the character's motivation if she doesn't look for Gita immediately. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Gita's whole thing is like, I want to protect my kids. Can you take care of my kids? At no point did Kate make sure those kids got on a fucking shuttle. She didn't even check. Literally didn't check. She's like, oh, you kids are crying. I'm gonna go get murdered in the zombie land with my dad. Bye. See ya. Bye. That was cheap.
I'm gonna find your mom and I'm gonna leave
motivation.
you unattended.
Literally, your mom's one goal. I'm gonna get in the way of that right now. That it was so cheap. And then the exchange between Scott, I guess his character's name is Scott, and Kate, of like, I was waiting for you to console me after you killed my mother. That come on. I honestly think anyone, you could have looked at someone on the street and been like, can you write a awkward conversation between a like estranged father-daughter, and they would have been able to come up with something better. That was the stupid. He's like, I didn't know that. Really, you were that like emotionally stunted that you're like, I didn't realize that you wanted to be consoled after I killed your mom in front of you. Oh my bad, I'm a bad dad. And then you were rude, so I just dipped. That like stupid, absolutely stupid. Like, get her out of here. He doesn't need motivation. Like, his character doing his thing was enough motivation for me. I was like fully on board. And then you introduce her and I was like, this is stupid. He doesn't need a bit more reason to do the things he's doing. He like, that's reason enough. He hates his life flipping burgers. I gotcha. Totally. That's why the pilot's sick, because they're like, hey, do you want to make money? She's like, yeah. Do you want to know what we're doing? No, I hate my life. Let's go. Perfect. I totally believe that as like a realistic life choice. So,
they could have used the Coyote character as a stand-in, like a symbolic daughter to provide motivation for Scott. Like there's this young girl here who's like self-sufficient, can handle herself, but like she's lacking something. She needs this, father figure, and like that's where Scott comes in. That's his role.
That would have been the perfect father-daughter.
That would have been great.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and like instead they have Kate, who's this just like black hole of stupid character choices and plot holes and just dumb.
Mm-hmm. Just absolutely useless, stupid character. And then like, since we're on it, Maria, why'd you do that to that character? Why did you have to make her confess her love? She was a totally normal, fine character. I believed her. Like, they're buddies, they're friends, they have a previous relationship. It didn't have to go any deeper than that for you to turn around and kill her and me to care. Because it could have been like, they could have had this celebratory moment together of like, oh shit, yeah, we got the money, like this is so great, da 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 da. She dies. That would have been enough to be like, oh no, that sucks. Not like, oh, I love you, it didn't work out, oh, snap neck. Stupid. You cheapen such a cool character that way.
Hey, guess what? I love you.
Literally, I'm like, why can't there be a female character? This is just me being, I'm just being mad about it. A female character who is not a daughter, a mother, or a love interest of a main character. Women can just exist in a movie without being attached in that way. Like that was a badass character. Like she was cool. She was holding her own. Like Chambers, that random woman who was like, I've never killed a zombie, but I'm gonna kill 40 right now.
Crazy.
Spectacular. Amazing. I love
Just going out
it.
guns blazing, man.
Yes.
She's just stabbing them, and she's like, I've never killed one, but I'm gonna kill literally an army of them right now myself. And then you have Maria just being like, no, I'm gonna get emotional. Like, I'm sorry, you are a professional in this field. You're not gonna like get emotional in the vault while you still need to escape. Like, if you're gonna have this like moment, let's get like, keep your game face on, go home, then cry about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe for one instant she would have been like, I'm really emotional right now that we've got the money. Stupid. Zack Snyder, have you met a woman? For real.
No, because it's a bunch of dudes writing this movie. That's literally it.
But the thing is, there's a bunch of dudes, and yet there's not enough like zombie milkies. So like, what kind of dudes are writing it? I don't get it. I was expecting, honestly, zombie boobs everywhere. Straight up, it's Vegas. Why is that not a thing? Like, give me that.
You know what? I was too, and like when I saw the opening, I'm like, ooh, it's under 10 minutes, and you know we're getting oh saucy, right? but then after it was like, oh, there's nothing. That, like whatever. By that point, it's like there's a lot of action. I don't really care, but like you know.
It would have been interesting to have that like interspersed though, because like Vegas does have like a huge scene for like nudity. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Yes.
Give me a bunch of nude zombies. That'd be crazy. It would be very uncomfortable for a lot of people, which I think would have been a good thing. I don't know why I'm like mad that there's not naked zombies. Like, I don't know.
More naked zombies.
It's like zombie dicks flopping around.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for the female viewers, give us something to laugh at. Let's go. Anyways, what else don't you guys like?
I was gonna rip on the zombie schlong thing, but I won't. Have it look like the tiger all decayed, but no, I won't. I just sort of will. I'll say another thing I didn't like, and maybe I hated this more than Kate, and it was like the epilogue with Vandero, where like the nuke drops, the safe somehow just like cracks open, like, oh hey, come on out, no rubble, even though you were like floors beneath this hotel. And like he gets out with money, he walks God knows how many miles in irradiated land, and he's got a bite on him all along, but he doesn't notice until he's on a plane about to touch down on New Mexico. It was the stupidest ending. They could, if they wanted to do that, they could have. It would have been stupid regardless, but it would have been less stupid. Do the Indiana Jones thing where that ball just, yeah, exactly. There you go. Just it flies into another state or something, right? Because it's a nuke. You know, it just goes. Somehow he survives. I don't know how. Or like you could have had him zombified, and like it opens and he's in another city, and there you go, it begins. But like that whole thing was just so dumb. It did not work for me.
Yeah, especially just that bite. I mean, everywhere in the movie, once you're bitten, there's a few minutes for you to turn. I mean, we seen that with Scott and like other people.
Yeah.
But how does he walk throughout Vegas with nuclear radiation and only get infected on the plane after drinking some champagne? That was one of the biggest gripes about this movie, is how he didn't turn.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the hidden bite cliche in zombie movies. I'm tired of it. Like, it makes no sense to me that any character in this setting who understands what they're going into is going to hide a bite, not notice a bite. And then also, I'm sorry, Scott, why didn't you kill yourself? Why'd you make your daughter do it? You're the worst father. You knew you were bit and you made her shoot you. Like, you let that happen. That's crazy to me. That was the stupidest character choice. I'm like, you're trying to repair this relationship and you're like, honey, I'm about to be a zombie, so if you could just go ahead and murder me, that'd be sweet. Like, grow a pair, do it yourself. Like, that he's a badass character, and then just that was a really weird choice to me. I thought when, like, I call him Van, when Van was in the airplane, I thought that he was actually infected because of the scratches, because he got noticeably like scratched in the fight. And so that's why I thought, I was like, okay, slower infection because he got scratched by an alpha. Like, that that's a thing. Maybe
But then
that
he
makes
bit.
sense to me. So the reveal of the bite was very disappointing because I was hoping a scratch would then mean he's a different type of zombie, which again expands what they have going on, which would make sense. But nope, just kidding. He just didn't know he was bit, apparently.
One thing that really bugged me in this movie too is the zombie babies. Like I don't know how you even create. You got some potent zombie spunk. Like how do you even? This is why I don't like smart zombies. And then how you guys just like one day sitting around eating people? I was like, oh, I'm kind of horny right now. You want to make zombie babies? At least in Dawn of the Dead, the couple that had that zombie baby, she was pregnant before she was bit, so it kind of made sense that maybe that affected the baby when it came out. But this baby was from zombie conception. It glowed blue. I don't know. I don't understand the blue thing yet. Maybe we'll figure that out later. But yeah, that baby thing was stupid.
Let's talk the
you know,
glowing blue. Let's talk it. Let's talk cyborgs.
I just want to say I didn't mind the zombie baby. I wasn't a huge fan, but I didn't mind it. It was one of those things. It's like, well, they're doing like a lot of different zombie things and like different like classes of zombies. Like, okay, they can bang. Why not?
Try it out.
Because like the alpha, you could tell he's like a different sort of thing, whatever he is. And like, well, that's a thing. And little fetus comes out, but yeah, the blue thing, every time I saw like blue, I thought it was like, okay, this is part of like the zombie, this zombie mythos that they're gonna explain at any point. And then when I Googled it after the movie, I read this like, oh, there was a robot zombies. And then I went back to the movie to look and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that's a robot getting its face blown off. For some reason blue, for some reason robot. What the hell is that all about?
Yeah. And I don't know what to think. I noticed it. The really noticeable one is when Guzman gets taken down with like the money and the money's flipping everywhere. One of the zombies he shoots right before he gets taken down by the two like female zombies, its face gets blown off and it's fully robot underneath. And I was just like, what? Because at this point I noticed like some glowing eyes in that other scene eyes, where Scott was shooting. So I didn't know what to think of that, but then you see the zombie robot face and I was so confused. I was like, did I see that properly? Like what? And then it's just never addressed literally at all. So I'm mad about it. I don't think that was necessary at all. Like if you're doing expanded zombie universe and you've got alphas and slow ones and animals and babies and this and that, why are you adding like technology, like machinery into it? I don't think that's necessary, especially in this movie. If you're not going to literally address it at all, maybe put some glowing blue eyes if you're planning to use it later on. But I don't think a full like zombie robot face reveal was necessary because it was just confusing.
Yeah, I think that it was really dumb because they never give a hint about it. I know there's the prequel is done shooting and they're planning a sequel to this movie. So maybe sort of give us a hint of what that is instead of just making us question what the cyborg zombies were. And so at least we're kind of like, that's interesting. Give us a little hints and nuggets, right? So that's why it pissed me off.
I got another thing that pissed me off. The secret mission that Martin was trying to accomplish with the Queen's head. Tanaka probably could have gotten that head if he would have just told the rest of the team, it's like, hey, besides you can keep the money, get the money, but also bring me an alpha head. And they all would have been on board. They all would have found a way to do it.
They all wanted money.
Exactly. They all wanted money. It's like, yeah, just bring me a head. Like, oh, okay. But also, how the hell are they going to get all the money and all these people on this rickety little helicopter? It was so weird. Also, when Martin got the head, he was leaving on foot. How the hell are you going to outrun a nuke coming, crashing in 20 minutes? Like it was weird. It made no sense.
Yeah. Well, I think he said his plan was to get on the helicopter and steal it. Like I think he said he was going to kill the pilot and take the helicopter.
Yeah.
But even so, Surely
He
the
ended up
pilot would be like, how is everyone dead but you? Because you're suspicious. Like,
yeah, but like he ended up like in the valet section. Maybe he was looking for a valet to give him his car because a tiger mauled him on the street. Like, dude,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Yeah, like wait, isn't he stealing the helicopter? Like he could fly a helicopter, but
But he was
maybe
downstairs. Yes, that
Yeah.
that makes sense. He
yeah,
wanted to steal the helicopter, but somehow he ended up downstairs and not upstairs.
yeah. Now I'm starting to think like maybe it had something to do with Chris D'Elia.
Hmm.
Maybe they
Yeah,
had
maybe
scenes
they
together.
were supposed to have some type of like altercation that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm just making
Weird.
excuses for shitty
Yeah,
writing.
I know, really.
One little nugget that I'm a little disappointed about is the saw. They really made a whole scene of like, this is my saw, I'm gonna use it. And then we never got to see it kill any zombies. And I'm really disappointed about that. I wanted to see that so badly. Just like, slice some zombies up. But like, now we're just gonna chop this wall. Why not?
Yeah.
That I don't know. Don't tease me with a
Same-
cool weapon and not use it.
It was
Same
not
with the
used
beef.
enough.
Yeah, same with the beef jerky zombies at the entrance, the ones that are all dried out. They're supposed to come back to life in the rain. It's like, okay, if you mention that, like if you mention it, like at one point, you're supposed to come back to it. Same with the saw. Like both of those things would have been great to come back to, but they never
Give me the
did it.
saw in the rain, flooded water everywhere. Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
Because that's exactly what I was thinking when that part was mentioned. I'm like, okay, they're gonna do their stuff. They're gonna come out. It's gonna rain, and those zombies are gonna come to life. That's what I was thinking. But then it's just like, huh, okay. I guess they forgot about that.
Yeah.
For a zombie movie, I feel like there weren't enough swarms of zombies. That's what I think. I didn't love at the end when it was just the alpha they were fighting. I wanted to see kind of that World War Z thing where it's just like all the zombies spilling out of the building. I really wanted to see that. Because I feel like in the trailer it was teased that it was like millions of zombies. Like we saw like crowds and crowds and crowds, and we didn't really get that. They came in like groups of 10 to 20 for the most part. So I wanted more zombies. Not enough zombies for a zombie movie, in my opinion.
And I guess my last kind of complaint about this movie is there was not really any explanation about how it started. I mean, Zack Snyder already mentioned that this is in no way connected to Dawn of the Dead. So this is like kind of a fresh movie. So again, nothing was teased or hinted at about how those zombies started, except the only weird thing that I noticed in the very beginning is I think there were two UFOs when the convoy was coming out. There was two lights in the sky, and then they just kind of went. They
Oh
disappeared.
no, don't.
So I'm like, okay, is there gonna be an alien element to
unnecessary?
this?
No, unnecessary.
There's robots,
unnecessary.
there's aliens, there's zombies. Give me some vampires and werewolves. Let's play Resident Evil again.
Yes. Oh, completely unnecessary. That's what I'm saying though. Like the writing is just atrocious, but like you get the action and that's good enough. That's enough to just distract you from the shit writing. And like UFOs, it's like I don't care if it's alien in origin. It doesn't matter. The origin doesn't matter. The plot itself is what matters.
Yeah, because
that's the part I feel like they mess up with zombie movies and like these types of movies these days. Is I don't know if they assume the audience wants this like really drastic explanation, but for the most part, if we're watching a zombie movie, at least for myself, like I'll take it at face value. You tell me there's zombies, cool, there's zombies, awesome. I'm gonna believe you and I'm gonna go with it. I'm not gonna be like, I don't know, really like, oh, I need to know where it came from. Just if you're slapping me down in the middle of an apocalypse, I'm not gonna ask what happened 20 years ago that made it happen. I'm caring about what's happening right now. Give me that story. I don't want to waste time on the past and the future. Just give me what's happening right now, slap me into the world, make me understand literally what's happening today, and I'm happy, and that's good enough for me. But
see, in the very beginning, I was hoping there was a connection to Dawn of the Dead. Like I had a small theory in my head before I found out that about the little UFO things, or before how Zack Snyder mentioned that there was no connection, is that I was just thinking that whatever was that in that container was left over from Dawn of the Dead. I'm pretty sure they got rid of all the zombies, and then like good government people, they kept one and did experiments to it, Resident Evil style. and
Mhm.
that's how it happened. But it had no connection, so I became more confused. Okay, so we're moving on to our favorite kill or kills. I have one. I have only one, and so I'm gonna go first. And that was the tiger killing Martin. That was
Mhm.
very he Martin did a good job of annoying me throughout the whole movie. That the tiger beating killing the shit out of him was very satisfying. So yeah, that is my zombie kill. Human kill, sorry.
I mean, I agree. And the reason I think I do is, I'm sorry, were there any other memorable ones literally at all? I don't know. Like, I'm thinking about the crew itself, like the people who came in. No one had a particularly like spectacular death because like Chambers dies first and she like explodes, but we don't really see much of that. Then you have like Dieter dies off screen, maybe from
Is
the
he
alpha
dead?
zombie, like question mark, who knows? Like Guzman gets bit and then also explodes. Like you know what I mean? Like we see the pilot, we don't see her die, but she's impaled, so she's dead. I don't know. To me, Martin was the only memorable like human death at all. Most memorable zombie death was definitely the zombie that got mushed between the two walls in the
Yes.
vault. That was really fun. I really actually
Yeah.
loved that sequence. I thought it was really like it was the most fun part of the movie in my
It was
opinion.
a
Just like
fun
trying
scene.
to yeah,
Yeah.
just trying to like disarm the traps with the zombie was really fun and clever, and I loved that sequence. So like that zombie death, that was my favorite kill
The
slash death.
microwave hand. Just
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not the meat, it's the heat, is what he said, and I think that's an
Yeah.
interesting concept too. So yeah, smushed zombie is my favorite kill because it was just so nasty.
You know what? You guys might hate me for this one for my favorite death because it wasn't like the goriest, but like it was at a time where I'm like, oh my god, just end this scene, and then you just see a friggin' neck just backwards, and like it had the ridges, right? Like it looked unnatural. It's like, oh yeah, that's
in the
what a
bones
neck
sticking out of the
snapback.
side.
Yeah, a little chunk.
Yeah, it's like, ooh, that's exactly what it would look like. Ooh, and like it came at a time when I'm just like, oh, ooh. So it was really effective for me. It was like it was brutal. Yeah, that was probably my favorite one. The coyote one looked cool because she just got gored and like you know
But is she
it's not
dead?
too zombie-ish. Mm. But yeah, and honorable mention to the tiger one because that's just craziness. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, we're gonna go with our final thoughts and theories and speculations. If you have one, who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I don't know if I truly have anything like groundbreaking. Just in these types of movies, unless I see somebody dead and double tapped, I assume they're coming back as a zombie. So I think Dieter, like especially if they're doing the prequel about him, I guarantee you he's maybe zombified and then like a super smart like lock breaking zombie. I don't know.
Oh, God.
But maybe he's a zombie. Maybe Coyote's a zombie. Like what happened to Gita? Nobody knows. So where's she at? I don't know if they'll ever address that, but that's interesting to me. That's just like open ends to the story that I'm not confident about. Besides that, there's robot zombies. Maybe the government's involved. I'm not sure. That's as far as I got.
Like the only I don't know if this is much of a theory or more like a prediction that the prequel. And I said this before we started filming. Like I could give two shits about thieves breaking into a bank or a safe or whatever. Like this prequel, eat a dick. I don't care. Just do what you want. I'm not even gonna bother with it. Like, oh god. And like another prediction, if they're gonna make another movie or prequel and try to explain why zombies exist, it's gonna be a massive load of shit because the writing is already dumb. Just do what you're good at and just like throw people in a house with zombies surrounding it, and there you go. That's your story. That's it. Maybe different sorts of zombies. That's all we want. That's all people want. Just zombies. And like if you're gonna do, if you want to attach some emotional relevance to it, hire some good writers. That's it. Like hire someone more competent. Dear Lord, or make a movie with just women, and then you're forced to write them well. There you go. That's how you do it.
We've seen Sucker
No.
Punch, my friend. We've seen Zack Snyder write a movie about women. No, you take that right back right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Dear
There's
Lord.
gonna be a lot of underage girls scantily clad. That's what the movie's gonna be. No.
So I have a dumb theory, and it involves time loops.
Yeah.
So we pretty much saw everybody that same scarf, same shirt. I don't know which part of it starts or ends the loop, but real time is happening only in Vegas, that area, while the rest of the world loops. So prequel might have something to do with that. The sequel might bring back all the dead characters now fighting Van. So, but there's a lot of plot holes to that idea, and it will surely be dumb. But I hope it's at least one.
You know, give me zombies. That's it. It doesn't have to be anything more than just a bunch of zombies. And just fight the zombies with cool weapons. Like, give me Dead Rising, the movie.
Oh
with
yeah.
like some chainsaws on a motorcycle, and like let's watch that movie. I'm okay with it. It would be great.
So anyway, what is our scores?
I'm gonna be positive. I'm gonna just flat out say it's 7. It's good. Because like I would hate to say like all these years I'm like Zack Snyder just returned to zombies, come back, and then when he comes back like damn you Snyder. It's like no, he did what I wanted, just a mindless zombie movie. I sat down. For the most part I enjoyed it when without the whole daughter thing ruining it. But yeah, I give it 7. It's solid. I would watch it again. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5. For me, it has the same issue as Godzilla and Kong movie. The people are the worst part. The zombies are the best part. The zombies are about 50% of the movie, therefore it gets 5 out of 10.
And the same as Godzilla and Kong, very entertaining, even despite all my complaining or our complaining about really dumb things. I did really enjoy it, and I'm gonna go with a 7. So that is it for our review of Army of the Dead. If you like what you're seeing, please give us a like, subscribe, thumbs up. Our social media is down below. Once again, I'm joined by Alex and Michelle. And if there's any cool stuff you want us to review, let us know in the comments. And we'll see you again next time. Peace.
Bye.
Yeah.